Hello, Taurus. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Gilded Tarot by Cyril Marchetti. There is the website for them is llewellyn.com. There is a companion book by Barbara Moore, if you're interested. This version came with it anyway. I don't use it, but it is there in case that's of interest. Supportive Oracle Cards, Spellcasting Oracle Cards by Flavia, Barbara, and Lizbeth. Website for them is shewhoisart.com. So if you're interested in any of that, there you go. I know some people like, I think, that one has like a booklet. But some people like those things, other people don't. I just figured I'd throw it in there for whatever reason. Ooh, I think we like this. I don't know yet. Let's go a little farther. I'm getting a little too excited. I'm like, what do you got going on? Somebody has a bunch of ideas. Do we like this? Are you going into this? Are you going for this? Is this good or bad? Somebody needs their plans. Somebody's got a bunch of ideas. I mean, it's the Seven of Pentacles, which talks that, something isn't quite there yet. I just feel like somebody has a bunch of ideas, but I'm getting the Seven. It reminds me of like green tomatoes on the vine. They're not quite there. I'm not a green tomato person. So I'm looking for a red tomato. That's just where I'm going with this. So, like red tomato or green tomatoes on the vine, not quite there yet. What do we need to do? The King of Swords is telling me they got some good start. There's some good starts going on here, but they need somebody to kind of structure this. This needs to be structured. This needs to be more structured. Which, not for nothing, Taurus generally is king of structure. King, queen, diplomat, whatever you want to call it, leader of structure. Because I feel you got a couple aces coming in. I don't know if I like this, though. I'm still not really sold on this quite yet. Why am I, like, so ambivalent? I'm feeling this, like, okay, yeah, they need a little work. Do I want to be a part of this? And I feel like, how much work is this really going to take? This is your challenge card, the King of Wands, which don't get caught up in the gender, but it's like, am I going to help the situation along? Or do I need to take control of it and then I do all this work and other people get the benefit? Like, I'm not here for that. Everybody needs to pull their fair weight. I feel like this is why I'm not sure if I'm sold on this. Like, it looks good, but am I going to be the one that does everything and then other people get the benefit? I'm just not sure if I'm sold on this yet. You have to decide, though. The first step is deciding. You have to decide. I feel like that's obvious. But it's kind of like we're wasting time. It's like we need to come forward and decide what we want to do with this. You have the ability to pull this forward. You have the ability to stabilize this. You have the information. You can make the plan. Success happens with you, not without you. There's a lot of fire around you here. I almost wonder, is this person going to like walk away? And I feel like that's what I'm worried about. Like, you got the King and Queen of Fire. But I feel like it's kind of like, all right, I start this, I stabilize this, I get this going. But then if this person walks away, then I have to keep it going. And if that's going to be the case, if they're going to walk away, I'm not here to do the work for them to get the benefit. So if there's a way for me to angle this, like, okay, you walk away, and then if I'm going to be doing all the work, I need to be getting all the benefit. That's just fair. I mean, not for nothing. So if they're going to start it and then disappear, okay, but then when you disappear, it's mine. I get the benefit from it. And I feel like that's how I'm looking at this. Like, do I want to actually try to get into this negotiation? I'm just like, I'm not really warm and fuzzy just yet. Whatever this is, I feel like my first thought is I have to set this up. Involvement and activity participation. What's the word I'm looking for? Contribution. Contribution matches output. Input matches output. I guess that's the simple way to put it. But I feel like this is going to get complicated. The base is, if you're involved 30%, you get 30% out. If you're involved 50%, you get 50% out. And I need this person to agree and put this down. Like, if you're only going to be in this much, you only get that much out. We have to start it right off there. Because I'm getting a lot of fire around here. And you see it. When I'm seeing fire on your side, you have the motivation and drive to make this happen. But I think a lot of it is perception. I'm seeing the fire I'm dealing with. Fire's not bad, but it's kind of like fire can burn bright, burn strong, and burn out. And that's what I'm like, listen, let's not get this going and leave me holding the bag. No. They've got the Knight of Wands. They come in strong, they come in fast, but then they're like, okay, that was fun, and they go off and do something else. Which it's, you can't just start something and expect the benefit and leave other people holding the bag. No, that's not how this is working. There's other things, like they're distracted. They're distracted, but they're going off in different directions. I think this is going to work for you, because I'm like, what are you supposed to do? And this is the answer I'm getting. Wean them out slowly if that's what they want. But, like, make sure it's obvious. Like, if you're here in the beginning at 75%, then you drop down to 30, start, like, showing how that's changing things. It's almost kind of like, all right, they show up for 75%, so give them the payout of 50%, if you can do that. And then it's when they drop down to 30%, like, start weaning it down. Make sure you pay them what they're worth. Make sure you give them what they're worth. But show them how this is decreasing. I don't know if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Because it's almost like, all right, they did 75%, so they deserve 75% out, right? But we give them 50% at first, and then, we're still going to give them the other 25, but we're slowly showing. We're trying to show them, like, all right, this time I'm giving you 40, and you have, 15 left to your credit, and that's still coming to you. And I feel like you're very honest about it, very forward. Like, all right, I could give you 50 this time, I still owe you 25. You did 30%, so now I owe you 55%. I'm giving you 40, I still owe you 15. Kind of like you're showing. I feel like you're trying to make a point, and you're still giving them what they deserve, but you're trying to make the point. I know that may sound. I hope I'm saying it right. I don't know if it makes sense the way I'm saying it. I hope it does. Or at least, I don't know if I feel like it makes sense, but, like, does it fit? Does it fit the model of what we're trying to do here? Because I feel like 8 of Pentacles going into financial health, like, I'm trying to impress upon this person, if you're going to walk away, you're going to get less out of it. If I'm doing more, I'm getting more out of it. Like, you seem to be in some type of control of something. Whatever you're doing here, it's kind of like you're matching up percentages, and you're keeping track, and you're like, I'm just trying to make the impression, but I'm definitely making sure this person gets what they deserve. It just might be a little bit spaced out in effort of making an impression. They don't want to completely get out of it, but I do see them, there's a distracted energy. 2 of Wands, 6 of Wands, they just seem to go where the success is. They change quickly. They go different directions very quickly. But yet they have a lot of success around them. There's a lot of fertility. There's like, oh, I got new possibilities. I have to go there. Oh, I got new possibilities. I have to go here. And they're doing well with it. They got fertility. They got the Page of Swords. But the Page is telling me they're just kind of going with the wind where the wind is blowing them in the moment. They don't want to let go, but they have a lot of things they want to do. And I feel like we got to negotiate this kind of like, if you want to do life that way, you got to be involved with this to a certain percentage. And like, it's kind of like, what will you allow them to do? If they want to go and run off and do all these other different things, they can do that. But if they want to be a piece of this, they have to stay tied to it at least this amount. And that amount that they're tied to this situation, they get the appropriate payout or the appropriate balance before that. Because I feel like we just got to make the impression. We got to give them the heads up. We got to kind of show them before it's an issue. I almost feel like, again, when I'm giving that, okay, they did 75%, I give them 50% payout. They do another 30%, so I give them 55 now because of the extra. I give them 40% payout, but I'm also kind of like telling them, you know, you're trying to show them like, okay, you got this before, now you're getting less now. The less you do, the less you're going to get out. Make sure you can afford that. Make sure that's going to work for you before they're just kind of like depleted. I'm trying to help them see it before they just kind of like, okay, they do 75%. If I give them 75% out, they blow it. They do 30%, they get 30% out. Then they're like, wait, what happened? I can't afford this. Well, that's all you did, though. So that's all you're getting. So that's why I'm kind of trying to like mediate it a little bit better. I'm trying to like show them. I'm trying to help them manage it before they get into like a snafu. I'm trying to be helpful. They don't want to let go of this. They want to stick with this. They want to keep it going. But for them to find peace, I feel like you have to almost like teach them how to be at peace with this. I don't know how that sounds. I just hope it comes across right, because it's like we're not trying to be manipulative. I get that. But we're trying to give this person a chance to see it before they end up in a snafu. And they are getting out what they put in. They are. We're just trying to give them a chance to not get stuck behind the 8 ball. I don't know if that's a bad term lately, but we don't want to get them stuck. We want to like help them see it before they end up in a bad, in a jam. So that's what you're trying to do, and I feel like that's a good thing. This is all about you having the plan. This is all about you stabilizing this. It's also, though, I feel like if you don't impress upon them this version of this, when they go from 75 to 30%, they might abandon. I think we want to that's why we kind of want to make sure they see it, make sure they get comfortable with it, because then they'll more than likely stick with it. Otherwise, I feel like when I see this 4 of Pentacles, my money's over there, so I have to go where the money is, and they're not. I don't feel like they have. It's weird with the 4 of Pentacles, because I feel like we want to teach them to stick with what works, but we also want to teach them what you're doing with what you're getting is determining your outcome. How you take, for example, if you get a paycheck for $300, just for argument's sake, and you blow 175 of it right off the bat, it chops that down to 125, if I'm doing the math right. That's all you got left to pay your bills. If you're chopping that off and throwing it away, you're screwing yourself over. You have to see what you're doing. You have to see what you're doing with what you have. You can't just blow that. It's kind of I've seen people do that with paychecks. They get a paycheck, they have a night out in the town, they just blow 175, boom, one night. Meanwhile, they didn't make that much to begin with. Now they have 125 left to pay their bills, to live, to pay for gas, to get food, to pay for the rent, whatever, to put towards the rent, probably. But it's kind of it's rough. You're trying to show them, before you end up in this position, before you end up blowing that 175 that you need, let's see this. Let's not do that. That's kind of the analogy. I don't know if I'm giving it well, because they're distracted and they're going all over the place. The thing is with fire and air, sometimes they get a little short-sighted. Sometimes. And they move too quickly and they move too fast. Air would usually think it out a little better, but when it's this more of a passive following my passion instead of actually, a more mature air would probably think it out, but this is their challenge card. The king is the challenge. They're not doing it. We want to kind of give them the heads up before they screw it up. I mean, granted, you can only do so much, because I feel like you help them, and then you got to let them be. Kind of I'm going to help you. I'm going to try to show you. I'm going to try to help you. But if you're determined to screw it up, that's your biz. Hey, you only can do so much. But by helping them, if you're able to be successful, and it's more than likely you will be. I know it's a general read, but I feel like it's more than likely you will be successful with that, because it seems to balance out quite well. You stabilize what you stabilize for them in turn stabilizes for you. Are we good? All right, I'm gonna shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below as well. Same email. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.